about that every now and then, and I'm
That's
like,
funny.
that Phil Chiltern, man, he's just
Yeah.
number one
He's
fan.
our, shout out to Phil.
Yeah.
Welcome once again to Chill Filter, the podcast where we drink whiskey so you don't have to. But you probably should, and you probably are, and that's why we like you. We have a very special episode today. It is our end of year Chillies Awards, to be one day sponsored by Bush's Baked Beans, as it is the Chillies Awards, Chill Filtered, all that. You know, you can put it all together yourself. But before I get into any more explaining of why we call it Chillies or any whiskey or anything like that, let's talk about some business. Here's how you can support us. If you're not subscribed to us on YouTube, please press that subscribe button. You know, it doesn't take much on your end, but it means a ton to us, and it really helps us. Maybe one day even get pays per view and get some, what do you call it, compensation from YouTube. That'd be killer. But we're not there yet, and we'll get there one day. We are sure of it. But that is a way you can support us. So, great episode we got going on today. We are going to be drinking Peregrine from Found North, their first like official kind of release. That's not like a single barrel or one of their batches, but it is their first flight of the. It's a 20-year cask strength Canadian whiskey, or basically a blend of Canadian whiskeys. That's what Found North does, and they do it well. So we're excited to get into that.
And this is their high altitude series. This is what they are considering their premium line, and this is the first flight in their high altitude series. Either I'm making that up right now. I swear I heard that somewhere.
I'm down to hear it. I don't see anything on the
Sure
bottle,
but
maybe it does. But one of the cool things about this is that Bryan and I were able to snag it within like a minute of selling out. And which is super cool that we were able to get a bottle. And also, we wanted to give a big shout out to Found North for sending us samples, 100 ml samples too. So thank you so much, Nick, and what's his name, Phil, over at Found North. And yeah, but we're gonna give this a objective, or is it subjective? I think it's objective review. Yeah. And but also, like I said, it's the Chillies Award episode, so we're going to go over some winners. We put out some surveys for our listeners, but we also made some decisions of our own, of our favorite or our most hubbadawhat whiskey and stuff like that. So we'll get into that in a moment. But before we get into any of that, Bryan, how was your Christmas?
Yeah, Christmas was good. We went down to Tucson and spent some time with Jim and Patty down there for Christmas. I got to see Sam's grandma, who is almost 100, literally.
Goodness.
She's 99.5-ish.
Oh, goodness.
And yeah, it was good though. We kind of took it easy down there, got some Indian food from a local place that we really like down there. And we came back home on Christmas Day and opened a few more presents and stuff when we came back home, and really been taking it easy, but like time has just been flying. I think back, it's like I've been off work for 5 days, 6 days or more, and like the honey-do list is hardly getting done, and I can't even like wrap my head around what I've been doing, because I can't, like, it's not like I spent all day on the couch one day, or I spent all day playing some video game or something someday. So I've been, I don't know. We've been doing a lot of organization stuff around the house too, getting ready for baby and everything. We got some crib and dresser stuff on the way.
Nice.
And been just kind of organizing and cleaning up the garage to be able to store more stuff in the garage. But cool. It's like a lot of just kind of messing around with little things here and there, and the big things aren't getting done yet. But I have one more day of break tomorrow where I can do all the big things, hopefully.
That's great. She's due on June 29th?
Yeah, late June. I think technically June 30th, but yeah.
Okay, gotcha. That is cool.
Yeah, what about you?
Yeah, you were, I mean, well, I'll tell you in a second, but when you were like, finding time for those things, I'm like, wait till you have your kid, because finding time is a whole different beast.
I'm sure there are just a million wait till you things.
Yeah.
There's only one way for me to truly understand how that's all going to play out, is when it hits me on its own. So
totally. And I just thought myself, I was like, how Robbie, while we were, I had my 2 daughters, he would do like episodes with other people. So I'm going to have to plan for a few episodes without you.
Yeah, maybe.
When Chickpea is born. Yeah. Yeah. So that's cool. Now I don't expect you to tell me, but do you have a name picked out?
We have been dumping names that
Nice.
were whenever we hear a name, we're like, oh, that sounds kind of cool. We're just
Yeah,
dumping it in a list,
that's
and we
cool.
have not even started paring down the list yet. We have
Would you tell people if
no,
you thought of it? Okay, cool. I
no.
respect
We
that.
will
That's what we did.
definitely
Yeah.
not publicly announce anything
Mhm.
until it is etched in stone.
Till chickpea is written on the paper.
Yeah, it is literally chickpea until
Yeah.
until after she's born.
Yeah. I like that. What are you entry buzzing on?
Yeah, Found North Batch 7.
Ooh, what a good
What about
batch. Actually, shout out to Brian Duncan, who sent me a double batch of secret sampler samples, and I haven't gotten to batch two or like the second group of them, but the first group of the four, he did the show off pour, and I only drank half of it for my like assessment of it, but the other half I am drinking for my entry buzz. It is Balvenie Ton 1509, which is
Yeah,
a big deal. It's a very special scotch, and what I love about it is it's just, I mean, it's a beautiful scotch. It is really good, like raisins, really good, like a nice, beautiful sugariness. Maybe like half and half brown sugar and white sugar. It is beautiful. I love it.
nice.
So thank you, Brian. I actually have some notes to send him, mostly as like a thank you. So
Nice,
see how it
nice.
goes. So
Yeah, this
yeah.
I went with Found North Batch 7. I didn't want to go 8 because 8 has that sherry
Hmm.
contribution, and it's centered around the sherry.
You
And I
mean
wanted to say,
the
I mean,
Sauternes?
yeah, Sauterne.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
want to I want to stay a little more neutral. I don't know if
yeah.
neutral is the right word, but I didn't. I knew that Batch 7 was a little more just kind of honey, a little bit of
Totally.
floral,
Hmm.
a little more not unique.
Yeah,
So, I figured I'd baseline on that going into Peregrine.
that's cool. Yeah, yeah. I was worried. I thought about doing that, but I was like, I don't know. I want to give it like a complete fresh shot, which
Yeah.
it probably is. Because I mean, even the comparison of batch 8 to batch 7 was very different.
Yeah.
Which I loved.
Yeah, and,
Um,
big
mhm.
dings for Ben Klebsig.
Yeah.
He found a Found North Batch
Oh, he
4
did.
for
Yeah,
me.
I saw
Yeah.
that, and for your sake, he snagged
Yeah,
it.
I'm really excited to be able to try that too now. I know, Nick said that they were batch 2 was like a holy grail kind of,
Uh,
and they tried to recreate it with batch 4 and didn't
yeah,
quite hit the mark, but it was still
yeah,
good. So at least that way I'll be able to have a bottle of the homage to
totally.
batch 2. So that'll be fun.
Homage. I don't know what it is for the record.
Homage, homage,
Yeah.
yeah.
Homage. Um, I am looking forward to that episode we do with Nick Taylor. So we considered bringing Nick Taylor on, listeners, but we did a lot of December, late November interview episodes. We're like, we just need a few solid us episodes. So
Yeah,
we'll take Nick on. Which honestly, Nick is one of my favorite guests we've ever had, just because he's so fun to talk to, and like
yeah.
it's just not even hard at all.
He's been
So
doing so many interviews too. He's been making the rounds. He was with
yeah, he was with John Hughes on
yeah, John Hughes.
Embellish Pod. Yeah.
I'm making my way through that episode, but that episode is
Mhm.
3 hours long. I'm not sure
Good
how
on
long
John.
John's average episodes are, but yeah, so I've been making my way through that. I think I'm about 2/3 the way through. And then he was on another buddy's YouTube channel. His channel name is Your Drinking Buddy.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so
Because he was the one who like introduced you to Found North,
exactly.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
He was the one who was getting media samples and reviewing them on his YouTube channel, and that's when I
Nice.
was like, "Hey, Cole, he sounds like you could get some media samples."
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
But anyway, he did an interview, and he normally does, he'll do some like comparisons in his videos,
Yeah.
and it'll be like maybe 10 to 20 minutes tops usually, and he's got an hour long
Oh
interview there
goodness.
with
Yeah.
Nick
Yeah.
Taylor.
He's so easy to talk to,
Yeah,
and like
you
he's
hook
just
that
fun
guy
to
up to
talk
a
to about
mic,
whiskey.
man, and he'll
Oh
tell
yeah.
you
Yeah.
everything. It's
And
so
it's not
good.
even a bad thing. It's not even like he's
No,
like not even an over talker. I just have so many questions when he talks.
and like I'm listening to him saying the same things to John that
Mhm.
he said to us, but
Mhm.
like
Oh
eating it
yeah.
up again.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I
I
could
was.
listen to him talk enthusiastically like all
Oh
day.
yeah. Even before this episode we started recording, I was telling Brian, I was like, when it made me respect whiskey more for what he talked about, and like how he explained how blending was not easy at all, and batching up is not easy, and all those kind of things. It was like,
Yeah.
wow, I could have sworn it would be like so simple to just blend two things together and get a good whiskey.
Right.
But yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah. How was,
But yeah. Uh-huh.
Denver? You were in Denver for a bit.
Colorado Springs. Yep.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So, only about 45 to an hour away. So, no, it was great. It was great to hang out with my family. We all got along really well, which is sometimes a worry. But yeah, I got some good time. I got to go to my favorite liquor store when I used to live there, and the owner was there, which he apparently is not there often at all. So
Hmm.
I ran into him there. He showed me a few great things. I got a signatory bottle of Glen Grant. It was a 13-year cask strength that was amazing. I got a E.H. Taylor rye. I got a few good beers while I was there, which I forgot to bring back. And then I had at another store I picked up an Elijah Craig a barrel proof, which was the C923, which apparently is
Good.
great. I still haven't had it yet, so maybe
Yeah.
I think you sent me a sample of it, so
Yeah.
maybe I'll have the sample, and then when we do an episode on it, we'll
Nice.
do that.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, people are loving that bottle this year.
yeah, we should do that soon.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then otherwise, yeah, it was a good time. It was great. Good food. I took a week off of the diet and haven't weighed myself yet, but I hope it's not like 5 pounds or more. Um, but yeah, it was a good time. And
Yeah,
then
that's signatory made at home okay?
not yet. So we're gonna ship it. There was so many presents that we still have to ship like a ton of things, like a big box
Yeah, yeah.
of
Oh,
things
yeah,
like
tell me your
gifts and
family's
stuff.
first time meeting Gray, right?
No, everyone in my family is met Gray, except for my half sister. So she got to meet
Gotcha.
Gray, which is great to see her. Yeah.
Cool, cool.
But they all were down to hold her and down to like take some time with the girls, and we even got like a little date night. My parents took care of the girls while we went out and enjoyed a dinner together. My wife and I. So yeah,
Yeah.
it was a good time. I today we're recording on New Year's Eve. Tomorrow is off of work for everyone basically, but on Monday or on Tuesday, back to work, so it'll be fine. But it's been a whole week off for me and week and a
Nice,
half basically. So
nice.
it'll be one of those transitions of the work that's hopefully a little slow. So
Yeah.
not scary. But yeah, it's been a good time.
Yeah, I another fun thing that I did this
Mhm.
past week, buddy of mine, one of my longest time buddies,
Nice.
Josh, he his parents live here in Phoenix, and he
Mhm.
was coming into town because KU was playing at a bowl game
Nice.
here in Phoenix.
Oh, nice.
And so he and a buddy came, and I drove up to his parents' house and
Uh,
brought them all a flight, or kind of
nice.
like did like a blind tasting night.
Yeah.
I mean, some of it was blind, some of it wasn't. I brought up just kind of a smattering of bottles,
Uh-huh.
but I had this couple blinds, just a versus B comparison, so
Yeah.
that I could pour this, pour that, and have everybody
Uh-huh.
say, "All right, which do you like better, A or B?"
Yeah.
And I kind of curated it to what I knew that they liked already. So
Uh-huh.
the first one I did was actually thanks to John Hughes. So
Nice.
couple more dings for
What
John
another
Hughes.
baller.
He was my secret sampler giver, and
Nice.
for his show off to
Uh-huh.
me,
Yeah.
he poured me like 4 ounces or so
Yeah, yeah, like,
of
yeah,
the
big
Knob
pour.
Creek, or no, sorry, Jim Beam, the Jim Beam that was bottled in a
Oh,
decanter in
yeah.
1969.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Did you enjoy it?
Yes. So, and I knew that they already love Knob Creek. They love Jim Beam, just like
Nice.
I do. So I did a Knob Creek 12 pour, and then I did the
Mhm.
1969 Jim Beam.
That's so
So
cool.
I was able to like have them pick out which one
Yeah.
they like better. And I think 3 out of the 4 picked the decanter because
Yeah.
it
It's
was
nice and
just
mellow.
it had this sweetness to it. It
Mhm.
was so mellow, and it
Yeah.
had a little bit of sweetness, and there was just no ethanol whatsoever.
Yep. Mhm.
It was
I remember
very
that.
impressive. And just like I'm drinking something that was bottled in 1969 is just
So
mind
cool.
blowing. So
Yeah.
that
I
was
wish I
really
coulda
cool.
gotten you some of that, 1917 juice that we
Oh yeah,
had.
that's
Yeah. That
right.
was
Yeah, yeah.
bottled in 1917, and let alone distilled in 1902.
Talk about mind
Yeah.
blowing. Yeah, that's
Seriously.
nuts.
Yeah. And it was
The
good.
The other blind that I had them do was I knew that Josh's dad loves Weller 107, like favorite bottle of all time, easily. I'm pretty sure. And so I had a Weller 107 store pick and a Weller 107 normal. So I had them sit between the store pick and the normal. And I think 3 out of 4 chose the 107 store pick.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah, so that was a fun reveal too, because I already knew that they love 107 so much. So it was like, what?
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk on the Discord about like doing a future pick if one of us gets our name pulled. That'd be so cool. And like, what was it? Dramhound was like, yeah, and Dramhound and John Hughes were like, yeah, I just, when that day comes, we'll figure it out and we'll make it work, and it'll be awesome.
Yes.
So
we will figure it out. And Dramhound did figure it out. I'm pretty sure with a buddy, one of his buddies or something won one of the Eagle Rare barrels.
And he went in,
yeah. So he got to go sample and everything. Sounds like a hell of an experience.
Seriously. And shout out to Dramhound. Hope you're feeling better this week.
Oh yeah,
with
some COVID dings for
Dramhound. Some dings. So I just poured. I finished the Balvenie. Poured a little bit of the Bunnahabhain 12 that Ben Klepsig sent.
Yeah.
It has a great nose. I mean, it was an empty, but like still, I didn't clean out the glass or anything.
Yeah.
It is like beautiful caramel. Not even any peat.
Nice. The Found North Batch 7.
Bunnahabhain.
Found North Batch 7, first thing that's hitting my lips today, and just instantly I'm getting this huge sugary bubble gum. I'm getting like insane levels of bubble gum today from this Found North Batch 7. It's that's like cool. I don't remember a bubble gum note when we were drinking this previously, but
love it.
The primary
nice
note
and sweet.
Yeah,
I love it. All right, so this week we're gonna kind of forego history. Because we've done 2 episodes in the last like month and a half on Found North. We're going to talk about what makes Peregrine special. We'll get to that. But we're going to skip the most of history. If you want to know more about the history of Found North, please listen to our recent episodes on Found North Batch 7 and Found North Batch 8, both within 2 months of recording of this one. The other thing is, we're going to talk about our Chillies Awards. So we're going to be giving out Chillies soon. But before we do any of that stuff, what do you say we take a quick break?
Sounds great.
All right, we'll be right back. Hey, Bryan.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, when you think of the word chill, what do you think of?
Chill filtered first, absolutely.
I agree. What if you add an IES to the end of chill? What do you think of? Yeah, like the awards, right?
Yeah.
Wrong. I like to think of Bush's Baked Beans Chili. That's right. Bush's best chili magic. My favorite is the campfire style. What's your favorite, Bryan?
My favorite is the chili beans, kidney beans, spicy chili sauce.
Heyo! For that reason, I suggest all of our listeners check out bushesbakedbeans.com and look up their chili magic. You can find it in your grocery store. Check Walmart if you can't get it there. And that's all for now. Peace. And we're back. Great time to be back. I don't know why I just said that, but it is. Before we get into anything, we're actually going to talk about the Chillies Awards, and then we're going to go into Peregrine. So real quick, this is our history segment, but we're going to get into it. Thank you all who joined the survey online. We appreciate all your input. We got some clear winners. Mostly, we got one tie. But first of all, we want to hand out our first Chillies Award to the best whiskey episode. I guess we'll start with that one. People enjoyed this episode the most, and there was a clear winner, and that was Whiskey Del Bach Ode to Isla Batch 2.
Heyo.
So congratulations for your Chillies, Whiskey Del Bach, or Chili, I guess. Yeah, Chili.
Chili.
And then next, Oh wait, we got to mention it on. We got to put a banner on. We got
Oh
to
yeah,
say
if you're watching on
fan favorite
YouTube, there's
episode.
some
Yeah.
splashes coming across the screen.
Yeah, you see that if you're on YouTube. So next award goes to the best whiskey on our podcast from last year that people have tried, their favorite at least of the ones we have tried. And this one goes to Whiskey Del Bach, Oat Isla, batch 2. So
Heyo, big
congratulations, Oat
winner,
Isla, for
double winner.
2 Chillies this year. Um, and then the best, here's the next one. The best whiskey that people haven't tried. So where we go with that. So if it was on our podcast over the last year and people still haven't tried it and they really want to try it, it's the
Yeah,
one they want to try the most. And this actually had a tie, and it wasn't Whiskey Del Bach this time. It was Sazerac 18 and Bunnahabhain 18. So 2 18 years. One's a rye, one's a Isla Scotch. Congratulations for your split chili.
yeah, and I love the
As
idea
18
that
and
that Del Bach didn't win this one because people have
Mhm.
gotten to try it.
Exactly.
Hopefully,
Mhm.
people have gotten to try that because dang, everybody needs to try that. It's so good.
Seriously. Well done. And that's the thing is like what the funny thing is that out of our top 3 listener choices, only a half of a win went to a Buffalo Trace product.
Oh, ooh,
Sometimes
very good.
they steal the show.
Yeah.
Um, so and then one of our next favorite non-whiskey related ones. What is our favorite joke? Some might say it's a bad joke. But this one also had a clear winner. And it was a recent rediscovery of this one on especially on our most recent drink along.
Yeah.
And it was and check it out if you haven't. It was the Jack 10 drink along. And the winner goes to the whiskey got colder with ice. Surprising how that
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah, that drink along, man, we made a lot of scientific discoveries.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, we
Mhm.
were
Talking about things
writing
like
down in our
volume.
science journals about how the
Mhm.
volume goes down as you sip.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, that's a big one.
more science to be done on how these phenomena happen, but
I
it's
forgot about that part.
crazy.
That was great. So well done. Whiskey gets colder with ice. Joke. And then we also had favorite memorable moment, and this one's kind of bittersweet. As the favorite or the most memorable moment was when Robbie had to step away for the podcast. And so,
Yeah. Things for
cheers to
Robbie.
you, Robbie. Thanks for your service. A few dings for that. Yeah, just keep dinging. Um, and we love Robbie, and he's doing good. Everyone, if you're wondering, but I talked to him the other day. We had a good conversation, so he's doing great. And now it is time for our choices, our
Ah,
chilies.
all right.
So we have a list of a few. We have the what is the most hubbadawhat whiskey from the past year that you've tried? What is the most subadawhat, which means, as it makes sense almost, it is the one you expected to be hubbadawhat, but was not that. It was actually well below that.
Just
And then we
didn't quite.
have,
Yeah.
yeah, what was the worst whiskey after that? Of the year of the episodes we've done, and then what was the best episode or the best whiskey you've had this year, and then the best joke too. What is our favorite joke from the podcast? So first off, Bryan, have you made your choice on the most hubbadawhat whiskey this year?
Yes, my results are in, and my most hubbard whiskey of the year was Found North Batch 8.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
interesting.
that Madeira, that fruity note that the whole
Mhm.
whiskey is based around is
Oh,
just
so good.
everything that I love. I mean, their primary notes on it from their press releases are blackberries and tobacco.
Hmm.
That couldn't be more up my alley. So
Yeah.
even though I expected to like that, that one just hit me like a wave of deliciousness.
Totally. Yeah, and that was the nice thing about batch 8 was like I think we both agreed that it very much outdid batch 7. So that was
Oh
a
yeah.
hubba to what in itself of like, wow, this is even better. So my hubba to what on the other hand, I was between two actually. I was between Found North batch 7 because I didn't know what I was even going into with batch 7. But I was very surprised with that. And then Ardbeg Hypernova. I think this
Ooh.
year, Hypernova, like this committee release from last year, very much surprised me. And I love committee releases from Ardbeg. But Hypernova just blew my mind, especially after the episode. I was like, this is so good. And so between those two, I decided on Hypernova this year is my
So those
hubbadawhat whiskey.
committee releases,
Yeah.
one a year. So is it like
Mhm.
the 2022 committee
Mhm.
release is Hypernova?
Yep. So it was 2022. This year was the
I'm blanking on
heavy
the name too.
vapors,
Heavy.
but there was also an
Oh,
anamorphic. So maybe it isn't yearly because I feel
that's
like
what. Okay, that's what I was
yeah,
gonna
because
ask.
there
Yeah, yeah.
was like at least 3 in the past 2 years. So
Hmm.
maybe it's not that, but I'll look it up later.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah,
have you
I
been
don't think it
enjoying
says
the
2023.
anamorphic?
Say again.
Yeah, it might not. Have you been enjoying the anamorphic?
Oh yeah, for sure. And I've been sharing that. Yeah, I
Mm,
took it down for Christmas with Jim, so Jim could try.
mhm.
My buddy Curtis came over so he could try.
Nice,
Yeah, I've been sharing that with the Scotch lovers. Oh yeah, and
nice.
when I had a big whiskey night at my house,
Mhm. That's right.
where
Yeah, Marco was
uh,
there.
yeah, yeah, Marco came, and I mean, there were 8 or 9 people here. I think it was the biggest shindig I've ever thrown at my house.
Nice.
And yeah, just I brought out 20 bottles, and it's Christmas, so I was bringing
Mhm.
out Weller 12 and Weller Full Proof and all
Yeah,
sorts of stuff that people want to try but may not have ever actually tried before. And so we had a
nice.
great time. Um, one of the guys there is named Sean, and I know he's bigger into Scotch.
Mhm.
Well, I think he started with Scotch, so
Uh-huh.
he's more knowledgeable about Scotch, and he's just kind of
Mhm.
starting to get into American whiskey and stuff too. But when I brought out that Ardbeg, he was like, "What?"
Oh,
Eh,
cool.
I don't think he ended up trying it that night because we were
Uh,
heavy on
yeah.
American whiskey stuff, and he didn't
Mhm.
want to cross contaminate. But
Totally.
yeah, I know
Especially with an Isla.
he's stoked to try that though for sure.
Nice. I love that. Um, all right. So the next topic is sub it or what? So what was something you were really hoping to be great, but just wasn't? We
Yeah,
might have the same answer here.
I think
Yeah.
I'm guessing we do.
Yeah.
Subito what for me was Parker's Heritage 10-year rye.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I had really high hopes for it that it was
Mhm.
gonna like blow my mind. And like
Yeah.
it's perfect. It's
Wasn't
to me it's the
bad. Yeah.
perfect Subito what because it
Mhm.
did blow my mind like a little
Yeah.
bit
In
in
a
that
unique
like
way.
it's
Mhm.
super unique for what it is.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
I've sipped it again since. I actually took it to the blind night with Josh and his
Nice.
dad and his friend and everything. Um, absolutely stand by the assessment that it reminds me of Booker's,
Same. Yep.
but it is
Mhm.
a rye. It's very heavy on the peanut. It's very rich
Mhm.
and buttery. It is
Yep.
not like a normal rye, and that
Mhm.
makes it really interesting. But in itself, in a vacuum, it is
Yeah.
not actually Hubba what.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. No, I'm with you. That was my hub to what this year. I was looking at a cash strength 10-year rye. Even Heaven Hill, status can be like really, really good on the I was just I mean basically on like the rye front, but I was just expecting some more candy and like you look at some 10-year options from in the ride department, especially cast strength, and you're like, oh, this has got to be good. Like it just reminds me of maybe what is it 40, what is it, lot 40 or
Oh,
lot, yeah, lot 40, yeah, that's right.
is Lot 40 Canadian?
Yeah, it is, and it's 100% rye.
Yeah.
So I was kind of expecting something like that, like beautiful candy and stuff like that, and it was good. I have no hate on the Parker's Heritage 10-year rye, but I can say that I expected a lot more, but it was still good. It was still good. So
Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't bad at all.
The fact that it's so unique, like I'm
Hmm.
so happy to be able to drink through a whole bottle now because I did
Yeah.
go out of my way to trade with a
Hmm.
buddy who had it. And
Hmm.
it's again, it's like why would you go out of your way for this if you didn't really
Yeah.
like it that much? But just
Hmm.
the unique factor is pretty cool. So
Yeah.
again, if there was a Chili's award for what's your most try it at a bar, don't buy it whiskey,
Yeah.
I probably would have given that to
That's
Parker's
cool.
Heritage 10-year rye too.
Yeah. That'd be cool. I love it. All right. Now we never did this one last year. So this is a different chili award this year. What is the worst one you've drank on the podcast last year, or
I'm
drank
so
that we
excited.
have done on the podcast?
So
Uh,
excited to hear your answer on this.
oh yeah, yeah.
I I stand by mine. There was a lot that
Mhm.
you recorded with Robbie that I haven't tried.
Uh-huh.
There were a lot that I haven't tried. So
Yeah.
I stuck to what I have tried,
Nice.
and my worst whiskey of the year goes to Shanks.
Shanks. Yeah, that was a little bit of a letdown.
It's just got this like sour bitterness, and
Mhm.
there's no like richness of flavor. If
Yeah.
I remember correctly, it's just an American straight
Yes.
whiskey.
I don't even think it's a bourbon or a rye or anything like
Yeah.
that. I think it was just
Um
yeah.
and it's sour mash too. Is so it's
Mhm.
got this this corner of the tongue just like
Mhm.
bitterness, and there's nothing else there. You can't say that there's brown sugar to round
Yeah.
it out. You
It
can't say
was
that there's anything
meh.
else. It's just like,
Yeah.
why am I drinking this? So
Uh-huh.
worst whiskey of the year, Shanks. What about you?
Shanks. What was it, the 2023?
Yeah, it was the 2023.
Yeah, yeah. That's cool. All right. Mine, you might have guessed, it was what last episode's one. Very clear loser in my book. A very clear winner of worst of the year was that rare character Amberana finish. It was just terrible to me. I
Awesome.
was even trying to figure out like where I like because I smelled it the other day and I was like, why is this so bad? Did I don't even know if I put it somewhere else, but it was not my jam. But it was one of those things like, does that mean I don't recommend it? Not exactly, because I know a lot of people would enjoy that. But for me, it was just overpowering on that
Yeah.
oak and that like weird oak to me.
Yeah.
So
There's a
that
time
was
and a
the
place for it.
worst. Yeah, exactly.
Um, Curious on your
Hmm.
take of, did I send you an RD1 bourbon Umbrana
You
finish?
did. Hmm.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe we won't do an episode about that. I don't know. But
Uh-huh.
it's because if that is also too ridiculous for you,
Hmm.
then you can write off Ambrana completely.
Oh, good to know.
Never drink Ambrana again if you
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
like the RD1, because the
yeah.
RD1 cuts the Ambrana finish
That's right.
powerfulness in half,
Uh-huh.
in my
Okay,
opinion.
cool.
So it's way
Yeah, it
more
was
of a
powerful.
normally finished bourbon, but it
Hmm.
still has those cinnamon and nutmeg notes.
I like that. No, I'm
And
willing
then,
to try it.
total side note too, I went to the bar with a couple buddies yesterday,
Hmm.
and actually we were going crazy and sampling all the BTEC that we could and everything. I
Oh,
was
did you
gonna
try this year's Eagle Rare?
So that was number one on the list, and we ordered that right away, and they were out already.
Oh, it sucks.
Yeah, and it was decently priced too. It was
Uh-huh. Like
$50 an
75?
ounce.
Oh, I would pay that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we were throwing down on that right away, and then the waiter
Mhm.
came back and was like, "Yeah, no, sorry,
Oh,
we're out
bummer.
of that one." But they had all the other ones.
Where'd you go?
It was a brand new location of Trevor's, the
Okay,
liquor
gotcha.
store that I
Uh-huh.
really like. Some of their
Nice,
newer stores have liquor licenses, so they have a full bar
nice,
and a pizza restaurant kind
nice.
of thing and everything.
That's cool.
But anyway, still I need to go somewhere else, because if I miss
Yeah,
being able to try that Eagle Rare 17 at a bar, I might cry a little
I would
bit.
pay
So,
50 for that, yeah.
yeah. But William LaRue Weller was actually also kind of sub at a what? Like,
Okay.
I had
That's the
higher
one you got,
expectations.
right?
Yeah, true. I did
Uh,
recently get one of those. Yeah.
mhm.
I'm probably still gonna, open
Yeah,
it
heck
anyway and
yeah.
everything, because
Yeah,
when am I ever gonna see that again?
straight up.
But
Yeah, I've had that with certain William Lee Wellers. It was way too earthy sometimes.
hmm,
Yeah.
I wish I could remember notes, but nah.
Uh-huh.
But I tell you what did really surprise me though. Oh, I had a couple other things I'd never had before.
Mhm.
While we're on this crazy side
Yeah, might
tangent,
as well. Mhm.
um, birthday bourbon. I'd never had that before.
You've never had a birthday?
Never
Wow.
until they had it like 25 an ounce. So I grabbed an
Was it
ounce.
this year's birthday bourbon?
It had to have been. I didn't
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
check. I
Uh,
honestly I didn't really care, but it
yeah.
had to have been this year's birthday.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was okay.
Mhm.
Maybe I'd
I've
have
had
pegged
some
it.
bad or, like, meh birthday bourbons before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I'd have pegged it around 8.7,
I
8.8.
gotcha.
That I'm a big flavor, big proof guy. Obviously,
Mhm.
there's not big proof there and there's not big
Yeah.
flavor there, but there were some
Mhm.
unique, really fun notes. And the my buddy Clint like immediately was like, I feel like I just bit into a vanilla frosted cupcake.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
absolutely just big time
Yeah.
cake with vanilla frosting.
2016 was pure cake.
Yeah, I
It was
remember you
so
saying
good.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it was good. I think if I somehow landed one, I think I would rather have like a George T. Stagg instead or something.
Mhm. Yeah.
But
Are
yeah, it
they
was.
equivalent-ish on,
They are.
rate?
This year, one of
Oh,
my buddies, he might have it might have just been, the when it's brand new, the
yeah.
value is a little higher
Mhm.
as people are like super hot on it. It just
Yeah,
came
yeah.
out. I really want it.
Mhm.
So he grabbed one and flipped it right away for a George T. Stagg.
Oh,
I
I
yeah,
wouldn't even wanna try it for that trade.
yeah, I know. Straight up 1-to-1 for a George T.
Yeah,
Stagg.
that's great.
But, I think if you let it cool a little bit
Mhm.
after they hit the
Would've
market in
slowed
a
it
lot of other
down.
states, you might
Yeah.
not be able to do that, but
Mhm.
anyway, the one that I'm finally getting around to now on this crazy long tangent is,
No, you're good.
Michter's Toasted Barrel
Rye?
Strength Rye. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the
Mhm.
barrel strength rye that is toasted for Michter's, and I actually really liked it.
Nice.
And it had like cinnamon and rye
Mhm.
spice. And
Nice.
what I had said was, if you told me that this was like aged in Amburana for like
Uh-huh.
1 day, I would
Yeah.
totally believe you, because
Interesting.
it had a ton of caramel and then a
Uh-huh.
little bit of cinnamon
Mhm.
and then great slightly mellowed traditional rye spice.
Oh,
So
interesting.
yeah, I did really, really like it.
I like that. You know, it's funny that that recent day where I was waiting in line, for, like, 6 plus hours, I eventually just decided to go with a Stag Junior or a Stag, but there was one of those there. I should have gotten it now that you mentioned it.
Shoulda, I
Oh,
don't
okay,
know.
cool.
Stag is guaranteed always
You can't lose.
fantastic.
Yeah, mhm.
Yeah, but anyway,
That's good to know.
this would have been the novelty buy, but the Stag was the
Totally.
safe buy,
Yeah,
especially
yeah,
for
yeah.
you, for
Mhm.
sure.
And it's my white whale, so it's a
Exactly,
good
yeah.
day to get it, so, no, I love that. Alright, are we on to whiskey of the year?
Yeah, best whiskey of the year.
Okay, do you wanna go first?
I will.
Okay, cool.
Uh, so this was the one that I was like, okay, I need to pick best whiskey of the year, and I pulled up the list of all the
Mhm.
podcast episodes, and like when it came up on my computer screen, my eyes were just
Uh-huh.
immediately
Already
on
there.
Stag Junior Batch 17.
Okay.
And so that's whiskey of the year, and
Okay.
frankly for me that would land best whiskey of multiple years for me,
Uh-huh.
and I mean
Nice.
specifically Batch
Batch
17.
17. Mhm.
Batch
Yeah, I'm proud
17
to say I
has
have one.
yeah, Batch
Yeah.
17 has extra earthy tobacco
Mhm.
notes,
Nice.
extra earthy, and like people say, they vary from year to year. Batch
Mhm.
22A, which I think you also have,
I
is
do, I think.
I think you
Yeah.
do too.
Uh-huh.
That's rated highly on people's lists for
Nice.
having one of more sweeter cherry
Mhm.
fruit notes.
Love that note.
That's on the fruitier end of the spectrum, but
Mhm.
batch 17 is on the tobacco end of the spectrum.
Nice.
And I have blinded batch 17 against multiple Stag store picks, and I
Nice.
always choose batch 17.
Nice. I love that. I I was between 4, and I'll explain that. I'll at least mention the 4. I was between A. Smith Bowman Batch 2, uh, which was the 10-year, like, I believe it was also, hazmat this year as well. This year is a 9-year, and it's not hazmat, like
I
the
saw that.
2023, yeah. Anyway, the other one was Saz 18. You just can't go wrong with that. Ode to Isla Batch 2, and then Found North Batch 8. And I made my decision. I would love to blind them, to be honest. I wish I could. I do. No, I don't have any more of any of. I do have a little bit of Saz 18 left, and of course, Ode to Isla Batch 2 and Found North Batch 8. But I decided to go with Found North Batch 8 because it was one of those things where I rated Found North Batch 1 or Batch 7 was amazing. Found North Batch 8 blew it out of the water in my opinion. Found North Batch 8 wins my whiskey of the year. So
Fantastic.
yeah. And
And
then
we are
best.
recording
Oh
this
yeah,
before trying Peregrine.
that's true. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Who knows? This
Who
might be the
knows?
new
Anything
winner.
could happen.
Yeah. And then, what is your favorite joke,
Yeah.
Brian, from
Okay.
last year?
So I have an honorable mention first.
Nice.
And I keep forgetting to mention this. This was just I'm not sure how long this joke lived,
Uh-huh.
And frankly, it's not even from this year, so it's like
Mhm.
extra a bit of a stretch for an
Nice.
honorable mention. But I just remember a while back, this random joke happened this one time where somebody flubbed the name Chill Filtered and said Phil Chiltered.
Uh-huh.
And the joke was that was the podcast number one fan was Phil Chiltered.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about
So,
that. Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I think about that every now and then, and I'm
That's
like,
funny.
that Phil Chiltered, man, he is just
Yeah.
number one, number
He's
one
he's
fan.
our, shout out to Phil.
Yeah, big dings for Phil.
Yeah, seriously.
But for the real deal though,
Nice.
uh big love for Robbie here. I
Nice.
love listening on the episodes early on and hearing Robbie yelling at Moose. So
Uh-huh.
big love for Moose too.
Yeah.
Uh rest in peace, Moose. We
Yeah,
love you
rest
very
in
much.
peace. Yeah.
But Robbie yelling at Moose and hearing about Moose farting and
Moose farts. Yep.
slobbering and
Mhm.
all sorts of stuff, man. I just
He was a special dog. I got to know him a little bit, and he just didn't care. He was like that old guy that's like, "Yeah, just gonna keep farting," or something like that, you know? That's great. I think my favorite, of the year has been some live reads, and we haven't done them in a few weeks, so that's why we wanted to do on this episode. But I love doing live reads, and I think that's actually some of our feedback we got is like, "Keep up the live reads." Uh,
Nice.
so we're gonna keep that up. And so yeah, that's the Chilies this year. Welcome to
Yeah.
2023 Chilies, and next episode will be 2024, and we'll start afresh. So what do you say we crack into
Congratulations,
this?
Chili's winners.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
exactly. Yeah,
Double winner, Del Bach, double winner.
yeah,
Found
seriously.
North,
Yep.
substantial
Hmm.
winner also.
Yep. And yeah, so what do you say we crack open these bottles? You're gonna crack open your 750, right?
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go the full mile. I know,
Yeah.
and like there are so many friends I want to share this with, so
Hmm.
I'm just gonna open the big
Might
boy,
as well.
and actually, I'm going to a New Year's party tonight. I'm pretty sure I'm bringing this
Nice.
too. So,
Oh, that's great. All right, let's hear the crack of the wax seal.
oh yeah, I already got it half
Oh,
off here.
oh yeah. There we go.
Oh, I just like smacked my mic. I hope that
Oh, that's
wasn't a
fine.
big pop for
That
everybody,
was
but
too bad. All right, let's pour.
all right. And listen to this.
Oh, that might be the
Yeah.
top of the year.
Solid, solid. And oh, yes. I'm like so happy about
Top.
this. I wouldn't normally be happy about this, but my wax top came off right away to
Nice.
reveal the gorgeous brown
Yeah,
wood cork beneath. I
they
think
do a good
my
job.
batch one of my Found North batch 3 that I picked up a while back is still holding
Uh,
on to that wax top.
it's funny how sometimes they do.
Yeah.
So yeah, real quick facts on Found North Peregrine. So this is the first 20-year-old age stated whiskey from Peregrine or from Found North. Of course, it's Canadian blending in America, of course, from a few people, including Nick Taylor. They created the blend and then recast it into French Limousine and ex Cognac American and new American cast for 5-month further maturation. After 5 months, they took the best 7 casts and reblended them to make Peregrine. There is a 1,602 bottle outrun, minimum 20 year, maximum 27 year on the whiskeys. Like I said, ex Cognac, New American, and French Limousine cast. 63.1% ABV, 126 proof, 0.2 proof. In the mash bill, if you want to call it that, it is 76% corn, 23% rye, 1% malted barley. It is non-chill filtered. Hey, that's not the name of the podcast. No additives, as God intended, and natural color. Sold out super quick, as we mentioned earlier.
Did you say non-chill filtered?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Wait, did I say that's not the name of the podcast?
Wait. So is it or is it not?
It is non-chill filtered.
It is non-chill filtered. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're
As I would.
haters.
Yeah. Hope it would be. Yeah, but you got it right though. What's your bottle number? Mine's 1096.
Oh, cool.
As if it matters.
Oh, wait, no, I thought I read it wrong. No, mine's 91. I thought
91?
it was
Just
one. but I read it wrong. Yeah, 91, baby.
Straight up 9-1.
Hey.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
That man, oh yeah, you got yours from a different place than I did.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Huh.
Shared pour, yeah.
91,
Mm-hmm.
a 2-digit bottle number. That's fancy.
Yeah, that's like collector's item, but I'm gonna crack it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, it's
What do you think of the
yeah,
nose?
there's some depth to this. It's I have no specific notes yet, but it skews immediately very earthy.
I agree with that.
Yeah, earthy.
Oaky.
Yeah. Wood, dirt, chocolate. That's kind of like the realm that I'm immediately starting in.
Yeah, it's not sweet, I wouldn't say, on the nose. Oaky, earthy, a little bit of alcohol vapors. Not a bad thing.
Oh yeah, because ABV is
The proof is 126.2.
126. Okay. Sipping already, this guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna nose this for like 10 more minutes. No, I'm kidding. All right. The eyebrows didn't go up. Cole's eyebrows stayed about medium level for audio listeners. His eyes are very wide, though.
It's a slow release on this one. It wasn't like a pop in the front like we got from batch 8.
Is that finish lasting a long time then?
It is, and it's very pleasant. I'm not going to say anything yet. I'm going to take a second sip. And I'm actually going to pour a little bit more first.
Only
and
pouring
it's
up
not
for
bad.
one sip.
I don't want to like worry people. But I feel like the notes didn't fully pop out yet.
Second sip always gets you.
Yeah.
I'm still nosing. I haven't even sipped it all yet, man. I do feel like there's a lot to unpack here.
Okay, so what you'd expect from a 20 to 27 year range of whiskeys, this is amazing. I would have expected this to be super oaky, and it is on the nose, but there is this what is the way to put it? Like, there is a base to this whiskey. Like, it's like the foundation to this pour is like beautiful caramel. It is not over oaked. I wonder how much of this was 20 year. It even 20 year can be pushing it sometimes on the oak. One of the other things is that, with Canadian whiskey, they don't have to use charred barrels or newly charred barrels. So maybe that's it. Like for a bourbon at 20 years can be overwhelming with the oak. But maybe this was the fact that it was most likely used barrels for this, but not bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. Go ahead.
There's a fruit in there. There's a mellow, dark, rich fruit. It's not like raspberry, like the Madeira in batch 8 or anything.
Yeah.
But like what I can't seem to get away from, my mind is anchored on this like grape kind of note.
Yeah, I can see that.
There's well, anyway, the primary note is oakiness. There's so much wood here, but it's a sweet oak and it lasts all the way through the palate. It's immediately on the landing. It goes all the way through the finish. That like if I were to, well, off the one sip I've had, I haven't even had my second sip yet, but it's like if you were to say that this was centered around a specific note, it would be the French limousine oak. That's what I'm. That's the basis. That's my starting point here.
Yeah. You know what I just realized is that there's a mistake on the Found North Peregrine website, and see if you can catch it. We created a blend and then recasked it into French Limousine, American X Cognac, and New American Oak Cast for a 5-month further maturation. So it really comes into the fact that, do you catch it?
No.
Okay, so cognac is not American. You can make American brandy, but you can't make American cognac. So there's obviously it was just a spelling, or not a spelling, like just a simple mistake. And on the side it says finished in X Cognac, New American, and French Limousine cast. So that's probably right. But the fact that there's no comma between American and ex cognac, and then it says "and" like as a missing Oxford comma or something like that. So it can't be American ex cognac. But I'm sure that was just a mistake. So Nick, check it out.
Nick writes all that copy, man.
Yeah.
Whew. Nick, slipping.
We're here to help, Nick, so that no one from the what is it? The TTB calls you out. Yeah. Is it What is it? What's the one?
I don't know, but I know what you're talking about, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's
so there have been actually interesting random side note on the bourbon subreddit on Reddit. There's a guy who did this last year, and he just did it this year within the last day or two, where he posts a huge recap of like the stats on all the reviews that were done. Who posted it, basically like the Chillies, like the year-end awards for who posted the most reviews and what was reviewed the highest overall in proportion to whatever, in a very scientific way, where he takes into account, sample size and things like that. So Peregrine didn't make it into any of that, actually.
Yeah, it was
because he took he stopped recording samples on December 1st ish. And I guess Peregrine, I don't remember, but I think Peregrine wasn't getting delivered until after that. But in the month of December, I personally noticed, at least 4 or 5, and I think somebody said that there were 7 or 8 total reviews of Peregrine on the R Bourbon subreddit. And I mean, just everybody rated it 9.5 to 10. There were multiple 10s. 9.65, 9.8, like everybody was upper echelon in scoring for this. Not that maybe I shouldn't have said that till after we scored it, but obviously we'll incorporate our own classic chill filtered scoring system into this. But this has been just so highly reviewed, though, in general.
That's cool. No, I love it. For my notes, fruity stops at grape, and not in a bad way, but there's a lot of caramel on this, and the oak, like I said, I'm very impressed with the oak on this. It's not overwhelming, it's not astringent or like sucking the moisture from your tongue. Very well balanced.
It is not tannic at all, actually. And totally agree that the fruit, you said, stops at grape. That's a great way to put it. There's no sweetness from fruit here at all. There's no sweet fruit at all. Yeah, there's just
no
this, like,
raspberries.
Weird, mellow, dark fruit to me.
Really impressive, especially when you think of it as a 20 to 27 year whiskey. I'm gonna drop some water. I gotta pour a little more. I've been drinking more than I usually do.
Probably go my last neat sip here and then do that too. Oh, speaking of dropping water, got myself a little Christmas present that's laying around here somewhere.
Is it nice with we put your finger on it?
Yeah, it's got that little hole there. Right, I should probably say out loud what it is. If you're watching on YouTube, what you're seeing is the official Glencairn water pipette, I believe is what it's called.
Pipette,
yeah, so that I can dunk this in some water, cover up the hole, lift it out, and like a fancy man.
Yeah, true fancy man.
I no longer have to use my metal straw, where I have no idea how much water is truly in the straw.
It can be a lot sometimes with those.
An odd memory about this too. I think you got Robbie one of these as a gift. And I just a weird specific memory I have of him saying one time that how oddly resilient it is from breaking. Structural integrity is great, because he said his girls have been running around the house with it and stuff.
Oh, that's funny.
I guess maybe it's been like kind of dropped a couple times, but somehow still hasn't shattered or anything. So I just remember him saying his girls had been playing with it a bunch, but it's still perfectly intact.
That's funny. Yeah, I can see that. So I have a confession. Literally the day that we recorded the Christmas episode, I broke the Eagle Rare Glencairn by accident.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When you start saying I broke the Eagle Rare, my heart like
17 or
died
something.
inside. Yeah, like you broke.
Oh,
Like
I would
you
have died
the
too.
bottle fell off the table or something.
No.
Nah, I mean Glencairn's a Glencairn. I like
Yeah, no.
everyone's glassware is gonna break eventually.
But it was still pretty sturdy for how it did break.
Oh, did it like fall and like tink 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 bounce dancing on the floor and then
No, none
shatter?
of that. But like just the amount that did shatter of the whole glass, I was like, oh, that's impressive that it held together so much. But I've seen like people like throw it off of a balcony and it like mostly didn't break. Yeah.
Dang, that's
Especially if it
nuts.
lands on the stub.
I mean, if it
So
lands on the stub, though, I mean, the
yeah.
amount of shock that will go through the whole glass, even from landing on the stub, is so great. I
Yeah.
would have expected some sort of vibration resonance
Mm-hmm.
up in the
Yeah.
delicate top part where you
True.
put
Yeah,
your
just like
lips. But
shatter the whole thing. Yeah.
crazy, yeah. All right, I'm
All
I'm
right. Have you
pipetting
dropped
for the
water yet?
first time in my life here. Yeah,
Do it.
I'm
Pipette
glad
hard.
everyone is with me to experience this. Actually, that feels like too much. Oh,
Oh.
oh God, nope. All right, learning how to pipette.
Same
Everyone
kind of
can watch
nose.
on YouTube.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
A little bit at a
one drop.
time.
Okay, am I supposed
Shake
to
it.
blow in this hole? No, I'm kidding. I think I got like one drop out here. All right, you said same nose?
Yeah, but better, I'd say. A little
Mm.
more vibrant, a little more caramely. Yeah, a little more bright.
I only did like 3 or 4 drops here. I might do a little more, but
That's a lot. Normally I do like 2.
oh yeah? Well, I
Yeah.
guess it kind of depends on how much you have in your glass, but
Yeah, that's true.
I'm getting the
Still
same
good.
tobacco, same earthiness on the nose.
Yeah. Still good. On the palate. I just started with the palate.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if it's better, but there's nothing bad about the palate with the water pour. It's not like it bittered it or anything like that. It's very impressive. Yeah, I think I prefer neat. There's just a little bit of a note of I don't know. I don't even know what that. Let me try it again.
I was about to add more water actually, but the palate is substantially different for me.
Mm-hmm.
The nose was like the same, but the palate is now skewing a lot more towards like a like typical honey sweetness that I get from like a Highland Scotch.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, if you want to talk about depth and complexity,
Yeah.
totally subjective terms that some people may pick up on and some not.
Yeah.
My quantification of depth and complexity to this is like chopped in half when I put a little water in there.
Nice.
Because there's not a lot when I sip it neat. I'm trying to deconstruct it and I think like, what is that? Oh, there's like a weird grape or there's like a earthy whatever. And when I sip this with water, there's not a lot of figuring out. My brain just says this tastes kind of honey sweet. I taste a lot of French oak and there's nothing else that I'm trying to chase down.
Yeah. That's the thing. French oak. You're right. That's the note I'm getting that spreads it out a little more. And I don't love it.
Yeah.
Compared to the neat pour. And with that, I think it's time for a cube. And the old spin J.
I'm a little behind you here, but I'll catch up.
Huh. There's more whiskey in there now.
So it may seem.
So it may seem. Yeah. Unless it goes below 80%, in which case it wouldn't be whiskey anymore.
I'm being invaded by a cat now. So
hey, cat.
Cool. He made it up.
I just see the tail.
The secret way. Normally I can block him off over here.
That's funny.
You're getting
like, stay away from the whiskey, cat. What's
Everybody
this one's name?
Hi. Say hi to Bud.
Hey, Bud.
Stay away from the whiskey. Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, no hair in that whiskey.
Wouldn't be the first time a cat knocked over a Glencairn.
Oh, totally.
God, I remember that time I slapped my glass hole.
Slapped your sass so hard.
Yeah, right. God, just like that was probably the biggest spill I've ever had, like on my desk. Just like whiskey everywhere. everywhere. It was like great. And now I'm about to sit here and record an episode in front of like
That's
a
so
desk
funny.
that just reeks of whiskey. My
I
nose
still
notes were on
laugh.
fire that day. Though, no, I'm kidding.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah. I still laugh at the conversation you, me, and Robbie had on text. I was laughing so hard at that.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, all right. Nose. It's a little bit muted compared to the other two pours. Nothing too special. Still good. Still good.
Doing a real light ice pour here, but yeah, man, I am still getting decent earthiness, and that last water sip I had, it had some earthy tobacco, but
Yeah.
that's kind of it aside from the oak.
So really sweet palate with ice in a weird honey French oak kind of way.
Yeah, so kind of same.
Yeah, I don't love it personally. It's almost like that synthetic we've talked about a little bit.
Yeah.
It's still good. Like it's not one of those ones where I shake my head and be like, get this out of my mouth to scrape my tongue with. But it is the least of the pours for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna sip my ice real quick here to try to not dilute it too much. But the nose is 100% honey sweet. You can really get your nose in there. There is zero ethanol. It's like you're smelling candy with the ice in there.
Yeah, it's neat for me.
Actually, so like in a weird, like unique way,
yeah,
I do like the ice pour because it's candy sweet. It's it's like I'm not gonna do this all the time or anything, but it's almost like I feel like if you gave this to somebody who didn't like whiskey with ice in it, they would almost think that it's like a whiskey forward cocktail. Like it's so sweet to me. And there's more along with the honey, there's a little more brighter fruit. I want to say like almost to raspberry. Almost to raspberry. A little bit of tart red fruit is kind of what I'm seeing with the honey.
Okay. I like that. Yeah, my least favorite pour. But that being said,
yeah, you thinking about rating?
Yeah, I have a hard time with this one.
I know, I am too. But don't let emotions get in the way. If you think about it and you think about why you're having a hard time and it's because you thought you wanted to rate this higher, forget it. You gotta rate
it's more so this is a better pour than batch 7. I don't know if it beats batch 8.
I'm right there with you.
Okay, so which is incredible. Like batch 7 and batch 8 are both 9.5 plus, I believe.
I don't remember,
but my struggle,
7, but
my struggle was I think I gave batch 7 like a 9.5. And I want to say it might have been higher.
Can't remember.
But let's just say fresh score. I'm going to give this a 9.525. Not yet a 9.55. And not yet a 9.6. This is incredible, especially for the age. And it's amazing to be able to have this bottle. Really like it. I'm just going to give it a 9.525, which is one of the best ratings of the year for sure.
0.525. Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah. It's not yet between 9.5 and 9.6. It's like halfway or a quarter of the way there.
Nice. Yeah. Second time I think you've done thousandths place.
Yeah, exactly. I get it as thousandths.
The longer the show goes on, man, in like 5 years, you're gonna have 10 thousandths.
Yeah, exactly. Soon I'll be getting into the Dewey Decimal System, basically. I love this. It is. The thing about it is that 20 minimum year provides a lot of depth, provides a lot of complexity. And this, especially in the neat pour, is very complex. You're getting different notes, different depth to it. So I think, 9.525 is my rating, which is a very good rating.
Yeah, that is a very good rating. All right, here's this extra little quantifier.
Okay.
What people tend to say about Found North, especially when Batch 8 came out,
Yeah.
is quote BTAC worthy.
Uh-huh.
Do you feel like this is a BTAC direct competitor, or do you feel like this is subada BTAC competitor?
Okay. So I have an answer for that. Here's why I love the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection. Uh, I love fruity, appley notes, and every BTAC release has somewhat of an appley note, whether it's the Weeded Dweller or the Batch One or Nashville Number One, Eagle Rare or George C. Stagg. They are fruity and appley.
Oh
Even
yeah,
even the I think the least of that appley is on Handy.
right.
But like Saz 18 is appley, is amazing, and that's one of my favorite notes in bourbon and rye. Um, this one is not that. We mentioned, grape is kind of where the fruity stops. Um, but is it that tier? Yeah, I'd say it's up there. I mean, I would
Yeah.
drink this over Handy any day. Yeah,
Actually, I would too.
yeah,
Thinking real hard about it. I
mhm.
love Handy way more than you do.
Uh-huh.
Just based off what you said.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Because I mean, I love Rise, and Handy's got this crazy. It's the most like spearmint, um,
Oh, nice.
uh, not rye spice, but it's a fruity. It's as if somebody made like a fruity spearmint gum,
Mhm.
that's like equally as sweet fruit with spearmint,
Mhm.
at the same time.
Yeah.
So, uh, oh man, like I wish I could blind this against Handy,
Yeah.
but I'm
I would
gonna
love that.
instantly
Yeah.
know which one's which because
Yeah.
Handy is very unique and this is absolutely nothing like Handy. But I
Totally.
think overall, this has so much more depth
It's
and
absolutely right. Mhm.
age and the French oak, and
Yeah.
there's so much more respectable notes about this
Yeah.
than Thomas H. Handy, which in my opinion almost seems as if it's designed to just wow you and punch you in the face
Yeah.
immediately to
Yeah.
try to
Absolutely.
impress you, without having the subtle respectable notes like this one
Yeah.
does. Which is
Yeah.
what I'm gonna put this around. I'm gonna put this at 9.3.
Okay.
uh a little lower than I hoped I would peg it. I'm
Yeah.
also not sure if I put this above Found North Batch 8 because I
Yes.
really love the raspberry and the
Yep.
fruity notes. Really love the
Yeah.
fruity notes. But there is so much respectable things going on with this.
Totally.
And there's more than I can't say this for every whiskey that we sip.
Mhm.
I feel like the next time I sip this, I'm gonna find something new. And
Yeah.
I feel
That's
like
for sure.
the next time I sip it, I'm gonna find something
Mhm.
new. I feel like the complexity here is such that you can't just figure it out in one sip. You can't
Yep.
just put a pin on it. And batch 7 as my entry buzz surprised me a little bit because
Yeah.
I don't remember bubblegum. I'll have to re-listen to that
Yeah.
episode. I
Good
don't know.
point. Mhm.
But that was new to me too on that one, and I feel like this one is gonna have plenty more for me to dissect. Obviously, I'm taking this to that party tonight. I'm gonna drink more
Yeah.
of this tonight.
Yeah.
Maybe in the same day, I'm gonna find some different notes about it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm
Yeah. That's
gonna
one of
land
the things.
9.3, but if in a future episode you hear me change that score up a little bit, don't be surprised.
Yeah. And then the next thing is like we've talked about complexity, but it's also like deep. Like complexity, I usually see as like there's waves of flavor and they change. This is deep. Like there is, you could tell like you're not you're scratching the surface first sip, and then there's more to it. So I agree with that.
Yeah.
So well done, Found North. You've done it again. But that's one thing to say as well is like we both thought Batch 8 was slightly better. Um,
Oh,
but
and
that being said, uh,
I didn't explicitly say I do like Peregrine more than Batch
oh, you
7.
do. Oh, wait,
Yes.
yeah. I think you did say that, but
Okay, so yeah,
yeah.
7,
Yeah, it's somewhere
Peregrine,
between the
8
two, yeah.
is my
Mhm.
bottom to
I agree.
top tier list. Yeah.
But there's also different, which
Yes.
is great. And that's the cool thing about what they're doing at Found North is that, batch 8 was very different than batch 7, and Peregrine was very different than both of them.
Yep.
This is definitely the most deep, if that makes any sense to our listeners. So now that we've got our rating out of the way, we are skipping Whiskey World News this week. And do we have results from last? What
We
whiskey would you
do.
choose? Nice.
We do. Now that I'm opening Instagram and it
Nice.
completely refreshed on me, and I have right
Nice.
here our what whiskey did you drink on Christmas morning
Nice.
was between Weller 12 and Evan Williams Eggnog.
Nice.
And the winner was, wait, what did I say? Weller, no, did I say Weller 12?
Special Reserve? You did say
Thank
Weller
you.
12, yeah. Uh-huh.
Weller Special Reserve was the winner
Nice.
over Evan Williams
But
Eggnog.
you got a lot of votes, though, so
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
was
I was
impressive.
hoping mine would kind of count as like the catch-all. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
drinking straight whiskey. I'm having a little
Mhm.
fun breakfast thing. And
And
anyway,
yeah.
Weller Special
Even,
Reserve won
yeah.
62 to 38.
That's pretty close, though.
Yeah, pretty close. And we
What's his
had a
name?
decent.
Mark Viertaler, like, wrote in, and he was like, "Absolutely eggnog."
Ah, yeah,
Yeah.
right, right.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, we had a decent amount of votes on that one,
Yeah.
and then now tabbing over to the responses on what
Nice.
whiskey did you drink? What whiskey did you drink? Embellish Pod. John Hughes says nothing.
What a
If
pro.
if I would have, it would have been Amberana finish. They already taste like Christmas.
That's true.
So in your face, Cole.
Yep.
No, I'm kidding.
Sorry, John. Lost respect. No kidding.
Low class, high proof, always with the
I love the
proof.
pictures.
The
Mhm.
picture proof of what he truly drank was a Four
Yep.
Roses
Single barrel proof.
single
Mhm.
barrel proof. I apparently cannot click on it to enlarge it, but I have
But
no
it's
idea what
probably a
recipe it
really
is.
good recipe,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's probably really
Mhm.
good. Low class, high proof. It's probably a
Yeah.
tier 6. It's probably a
Yeah.
63.5% something
Yeah.
from Four Roses. All right,
Totally.
Bro Ask a Testwasa. He
Nice.
says E.H. Taylor, bottled in bond.
Which
Normally
one?
Glenfiddich.
Which one?
Oh yeah, I know, right? Like almost all of them are bottled in bond.
Yeah.
Yeah. Normally Glenfiddich, Winter Storm, but he forgot it
Nice.
at home.
Nice. Who said that?
That was Bro Ask a
Okay, cool.
Testwasa.
Nice.
All right, Paul Clarkson. Paul Clarkson says Found North Batch 8 and
Nice.
2022 George T. Stagg, thanks
What
to
a
the secret
pro.
Santa who puts the real Santa to shame.
Guess who that was,
I have
everyone?
no idea who could that have been. Gee,
Yeah, what a pro. No, that's
yeah,
that's the I felt honored to have Brian Duncan as my gifter because he sent more than 4. So, and
yeah.
you sent about 12 apparently.
I think it was about 17 or so. Maybe.
Nice.
I
What a
think it was
pro. Next
17.
year?
I think it was 17 plus the 4 for the
Oh
for the
wow.
sample.
So, listeners, if you want to join next year's Secret Sampler, make sure you keep an eye on us at Chill Filtered. So we'll
All
keep it
right.
up to date. Yeah.
We got Kilted 518 here.
Miles Ferguson.
Not Christmas morning, but had a pour of the Glen Grant 18 after dinner. Ow!
What a
Glen
pro.
Grant 18 might be discussed here in a couple
Yeah.
more minutes too. Here,
Exactly.
maybe. Madtown marketer Ben Klepsig says Ode to Isla.
Batch.
It just says Ode to
He's got
Isla.
both, so
He
who
does
knows?
have both, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's about to get one more too when I
Ayo.
anyway. That is it. That's all for the responses
That's great.
for what whiskey did you drink on Christmas morning? But you knew it was coming. This week's
Yep.
What Whiskey
Saw it
Would You
coming.
Choose is what whiskey are you bringing to that New Year's party tonight?
Yep.
And as I already discussed, what whiskey am I bringing to that New Year's party? I just opened Found North Peregrine, so I am bringing Found North Peregrine to my New Year's party. Brian Duncan will be there. He'll get to try it.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll have a good time.
That's cool. I am going to something tonight, but it's kind of a low key thing. It might even just be my family and this other family, but they usually have a campfire. And when I think of campfire, I either think of Isla or like a really good cigar smoking whiskey. And so that was why I decided on Nulu, not single barrel, Nulu straight rye. Usually, I guess they're always cast strength, right?
Yep.
Maybe not. Okay, yeah. So green top, Nulu from specifically New Year, New Losers, which was a pick from ADHD whiskey. So shout out to Matt Porter.
The pick name was New Losers.
New Year, New Losers.
That's cool.
Because
That's
it
cool.
was for the Mad Madness, because there were new losers every
That's right.
year.
That's
Yeah,
right. Oh man, Matt Madness is coming up.
I'm
Ooh.
hoping, crossing the fingers. Last year you
Yeah,
said
right.
I should definitely be invited back, but I'm hoping you get invited back too, or invited.
Yeah. No,
So
it's all good. We'll see.
yeah, and if you're listening, Matt, I take it seriously, and I want to win this year. Like I was so proud of myself last year. And Matt, if you're listening, I did totally beat Cameron last year by 1 point. It was like 33-32, but it was with that like shady fireball, a double vote that made me win to him. So
Yeah.
but yes, I only lost by 1 point to no, actually I beat Cameron by 1 point, and then David beat me by 1 point. So anyway, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I just really
New
hope I
year,
take
new
it seriously.
scores.
New
We'll see how
year,
you
new
do.
losers. So
Yeah.
next week we are going to be between two scotches. Actually, to start off 2024, we're going to be between Glenmorangie Tale of Winter, and then we're going to be between what was mentioned earlier, Glen Grant 18, which we still haven't done yet, which is crazy. So
I'm actually really excited to do that. Not to influence people's vote or anything, but my Total Wine has Glen Grant 18 in stock for I think it's like 155.
that makes
But if
sense.
it's as good as Cole says it is, I might pick one up if I get the
Yeah,
chance to sample that. So we'll see. We'll
it's
see.
tall, slender stills. Am I right, Miles Ferguson? So anyway, it's like thick base. It's like, oh man, I
Ooh.
got a thick base and tall, slender stills.
Oh dang.
Oh yeah,
God, you're
it's a
God asking for
like
all
she's
the
a
all
brick, an abandoned house. Anyway, shout out to all the women who weren't offended by that,
Oh my
and
gosh.
shout out to all the women who were offended by that. We love you.
Hopefully that answer is 0. We apologize. We love you very
Yeah. We
much.
apologize in advance. And I think that's it. Anything else you're thinking for before we end the year?
No, I'm just hoping that
Ooh, before you
2024.
hope.
Oh, I'm not hoping yet.
Okay, don't hope. We are gonna start doing one mini episode a week, starting this week. And so we're gonna call it the re-entry buzz, which we will normally record immediately after we record a typical episode. We're gonna try to keep it less than 10 minutes easily, maybe even like less than 5 minutes. We'll figure it out. But lately we've been going long, so let's expect maybe 10 minutes. No history, just a quick background of what we're drinking and a quick review of the pour we're drinking. The reason we wanted to start doing this is because we have so many samples that we cannot even get to, and we still want to honor them and honor the people that sent them. So we want to you could hear the amount. Yeah, exactly. All the sample bottles you can hear in
This
that box and
box is
more.
literally full to the brim of
Yeah.
sample bottles, and this is about half of what I
Yeah.
personally have.
Not surprised.
Yeah, turns out I need to drink way more than I'm
Yeah.
drinking already.
So keep an eye out this week. Even we're hoping maybe Thursday release just on YouTube for now. Maybe we'll do it on on the podcast version as well. We'll try to figure it out, but we'll keep you guys keep an eye out for this week's re-entry buzz episode. So they're going to be very short episodes where we can still review certain whiskeys that we want to review. So yep. And now I hope that our listeners will join in on that and enjoy that.
Yeah, and I hope that they'll tune in on YouTube to check out the re-entry buzz.
Mm-hmm.
Check out me holding up that box 45 seconds ago to see just how big it is and the magnitude of samples that we need to get through.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also hope that I had a really good hope, but I think I lost it in my mind.
I hope you think of that hope. All right,
me too. But most of all, listeners, I hope that our love of whiskey lifted your spirits.
He
Nice.
says E.H. Taylor, Bottled in Bond.
Which
Normally
one?
Glenfiddich.
Which one?
Oh, yeah.